Millions of bank accounts were opened without permission. Customers were charged fees they never agreed to. Credit scores were damaged. Lives were disrupted. And it wasn't hackers. It wasn't cybercriminals. It was one of the largest banks in America. This is the true story of the Wells Fargo fake account scandal. For over a century, Wells Fargo sold one thing above all else: trust. A bank with roots in American history. A name associated with stability, safety, and responsibility. Customers believed their money was secure. Employees believed they were serving people. But behind the public image, a different culture was taking shape. One built on pressure, fear, and impossible expectations. Inside Wells Fargo branches, employees weren't measured by customer service. They were measured by numbers. How many accounts could you open? How many products could you sell per customer? Management called it cross-selling. The internal slogan was simple: 8 is great. 8 financial products per customer. Failed to meet the targets, and you were punished. Missed them too often, and you were fired. For frontline employees, the pressure was relentless. Daily sales meetings, public shaming, threats of termination. Some employees tried to meet targets honestly. Most couldn't, so a line was crossed. Employees began opening checking accounts, savings accounts, and credit cards without customer consent. They transferred small amounts of money, created fake email addresses, set up PINs customers never requested. It wasn't greed driving most of them, it was fear. This wasn't the work of a few bad employees. It was systemic. Branch managers knew. Regional managers knew. Executives saw the numbers climbing. And instead of asking how the targets were being met, they celebrated the results. When employees raised concerns, they were ignored. When whistleblowers spoke up, they were fired. As early as 2011, internal reports showed suspicious account activity. Fake accounts, dormant cards, customers complaining about fees for services they never requested. Wells Fargo quietly fired thousands of employees over several years, but never acknowledged the root problem. The message was clear: blame the workers. Protect the system. Customers began noticing strange charges. Monthly fees on accounts they didn't open. Credit cards they never applied for. Credit scores dropping without explanation. Some were denied loans. Others faced higher interest rates. All because a bank employee needed to survive another sales review. In 2016, regulators finally stepped in. Investigations revealed the scale of the deception. Over 3.5 million fake accounts. Years of fraudulent activity. Management awareness. Systemic pressure-driven misconduct. Wells Fargo agreed to pay $185 million of fines. But the damage was already done. The scandal exploded into public view. CEO John Stumpf was summoned before the U.S. Congress. Lawmakers were brutal. They accused Wells Fargo of corporate greed, exploiting employees, betraying customers, covering up fraud. Stumpf denied personal responsibility, and the public didn't believe him. He resigned weeks later. Wells Fargo blamed rogue employees, but documents showed unrealistic sales quotas came from the top. Executives were rewarded with bonuses. Complaints were systematically ignored. The truth was uncomfortable. The fraud wasn't an accident. It was incentivized. In the years that followed, Wells Fargo paid billions in additional fines. Executives were stripped of compensation. Regulators imposed growth restrictions on the bank. Thousands of lawsuits were filed. The reputation damage was permanent. Customers left. Trust evaporated. The Wells Fargo scandal exposed a dangerous reality. Crime doesn't always look criminal. Sometimes it wears a suit. Sometimes it operates behind policies and performance metrics. Sometimes it hides behind spreadsheets and bonuses. When success is rewarded without accountability, fraud becomes inevitable. This wasn't just a banking scandal. It was a warning about corporate culture, about unchecked incentives, about what happens when pressure replaces ethics, and about how ordinary people often pay the price for decisions made far above them. Wells Fargo didn't collapse like other fraud cases. It survived, but something far more valuable was lost: trust. And once trust is gone, no amount of rebranding can buy it back. This is Fraudify, where we unmask the world's biggest scams. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Fraudify for more.